Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can hear me. Uh, Let me go get my second phone just to ensure people can hear me. Ooh. We're live. Guys, if you can hear me, can you please drop a comment? Let me know if you can hear me just by typing yes in the comment section. Mm, I believe we've started. Let me see. Ooh, okay, guys. If you can hear me, can you type yes, please? It seems like we're having some buffer, but let's see. Yeah, fantastic. It seems like people can hear me. Um, Hello. If you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section. Hello, guys. If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section, please. Um, okay. Hello, guys. If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section, please. Okay. Right. I believe people can hear me loud and clear. So let me just be sure from here. Mhm. Right. I believe. Um, okay, guys. So today we actually want to look into technical analysis. Okay. Um, let me share this with my group. Okay, guys. So today, we want to look into technical analysis for beginners. All right. So I hope that by the end of this call or by the end of this webinar, you're going to learn some basic things when it comes to technical analysis. All right. So what we're going to start with, okay, what we're going to start with is if you have not, there's a book, called a Candlestick. I think it's called Candlestick Bible. You need to understand the different candlesticks. Now, you see all of these things that are look like bars, all right? Those are the ones that are called candlestick, and it's one of the things that we are also going to discuss today. All right. So basically, if you want to trade cryptocurrency or any market, for example, like forex market, you need to be able to do what we call technical analysis. Because if you don't do that, you are bound to lose money. Even people who do technical analysis or try to analyze the trade sometimes lose money. Talk less of someone who doesn't even know about, technical analysis. All right. So when it comes to technical analysis, there are certain things um, that that you need to learn. All right. And one of the things is you need to understand candlesticks. Like I said, these are the candlesticks. They are widely used. They are called Japanese candles. All right. And they're widely used across all boards when it comes to trading. Okay. So, and before I move on, I just want to say that this is not like a financial advice. When it comes to trading, especially the futures, um, a lot of people lose a lot of money, so make sure that you only use the money that you can afford to lose. All right. So, that being said, let's continue. So, the first thing, like I mentioned, that you need to know, okay, just like any successful traders is to understand the candlestick. I'm not going to go into details. I'm just going to, like I said, this is just mainly for beginners. I'm going to talk about certain things. All right. So, for example, um, let's widen this a little bit. So you can see that in these trades, all right, we have two major colors. Now, I'm not very good with color. Of course, you can edit this and make the colors and edit the colors the way you like. If you go to the settings, I can decide to make, you know, for example, the colors what I want. There's something called weak, there's something called borders, and there's something called bodies. All right, you can edit the colors the way you want. For this training, I will call this one maybe gray, then I'll call this one red. I believe this should be red. Like I said, I'm not very good with colors, but looks like red to me. The deep colors is what I'm calling red, okay? And then this one is what I'm calling maybe gray. So this gray signifies uptrend. Maybe the market is going up. All right, you see it as this color in some other people's book or in some other people's um instrument or where they trade, you might likely see it as black, I mean as white, and then you see the one going down um as black. All right. So here, this thing at the top here, we have, this thing at the top here is what we call shadow, or some people call it like the wing or something. At the top here, right, is what we call the shadow. So we call this one the upper shadow, and then we call this one the lower shadow. What I mean is, this thing that looks like line, all right, then this one is what we call the real body. All right, the real body, the one that has full square color, I mean, or rectangle, okay, is what we call the real body. All right. So, and usually we have where the market opens and we have where the market closes. All right. Now, um, for this one, this one, like I told you, this one is going uptrend. All right. The market would normally open down here because, it's going up. All right. Or the uptrend. The market will open down and the market closes below. The reason you are seeing this upper shadow and lower shadow is because buyers and sellers, they tend to want to push up and then push down. But one way or the other, the market eventually closes here. All right. So this is the real body, and this is this is, the upper shadow, and this is the lower shadow. And it's the same thing for the one that is going down trade. For example, you can look at this one, or we can look at this particular one. All right. So let me just scale this. So this was the one I was talking about earlier. All right. Okay, so let's delete that. Now, the one I want to look into now is this one. All right. So it's not allowing me to, I can only do like this. So this is the one we want to talk about now. All right. And as you can see, this one itself also, it has an upper body. All right. Upper shadow, but it doesn't have a lower shadow. As you can see here, it doesn't have a lower shadow. But if you look at this one here, you see that this one actually has a lower shadow. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, let's use this. So yeah, so this one has the real body, and this one has an upper shadow. Now, this one, this upper shadow is the one that looks like line, and then this one also have upper and lower shadow. Basically, all I need you to know is that we have these things, they are called candles, and they have some relationship in terms of how the market reacts. Okay, yeah. So, um, let's now go for that. There are also other things that you need to know. All of these candles, they have names. Okay. This one, like the one that is shooting up, I think this is more likely called a shooting star, morning star, stuff like that. You see that it goes up, boom. and sorry, just I was just downloading something. And then you see this one also. This one, it all of them actually they have their meanings, okay? And as you can see, this one, for instance, this one, you see that no decision in the market. Both the buyers and the sellers, they are looking at, okay, or what is going to do next, what is going to happen next. Okay, so for example, this one we call it the doji candle. All right, we will call it the doji candle. Um, there is a book. If you join my community, just click on the link under this video. You can join my community. There's a book we share there that will tell you all of the meanings of these candles. Okay. Me too, even me. I'm trying to learn the names of all of the candles. But of course, this is what we call doji. All right. And okay. So now, apart from that, we now have something we call uptrend and downtrend. Now, if you take this one to, so this one, they are the times, they are the timeline, all right? So if you check this one to a weekly candle, okay? Let's go to weekly candle. Under the weekly candle, we can even look at the monthly candle, you see? Because we are looking at Apple, but let's go to, because we want to do Forex, okay? We want to do crypto. So let's choose um, BNB USDT. All right. Let's choose Binance, for instance, because Binance have more data. So this is the monthly candle. All right. We are under the monthly candle. As you can see, Bitcoin started here. It was around, I mean, on Binance, they listed Bitcoin, even when it was $5 and below. All right. So you can see from $5, it increased, and now Bitcoin is now worth over 100,000 basically. At the moment, oh, sorry, we are looking at BNB. So BNB was listed around five, even when it was still like two or minus something. But right now, BNB is worth how much? $651. All right. So now let's go further. So weekly, I mean, this is the monthly time scales. Now, in Yoruba land or in Nigeria, for instance, um, if, for example, a family dies at 45, God forbid, though, like maybe one family dies at 45, um, and then the next person also dies at 45. The third person will know. The third person will want to be careful that, what is happening? Why is everybody dying at 45? Okay. Now, that is because they can now go back and look at what happened. All right. What date or what really happens. All right. And that is why you have to do background checks sometimes when you want to marry. Okay. I know this is not relationship talk, but in Yoruba, like if you want to marry someone, what they do is that they go, I mean, usually in the old days, yeah, they go to the background of that person. Uh, is there anybody that used to have mental issues in their family or this kind of disease or all of that? They look at all of this. And this is something relating to also trading as well. Sometimes before you pick a trade, you have to look at what has happened in the past to this trade. All right. So let's look at this, for instance. Okay. Let's look at this, for instance. You see, sorry, let me just um, open another tab so that I can get to see you people's comments. Do, 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 do. So, see, if you have any comments, just drop it and I'll be answering all of your questions. I hope people can drop comments. Yes. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just want to be sure that I'm seeing your feedbacks as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I can see your, oh, 1 minute, guys. Mhm. Yes, we are going step by step. I can see Dennis is saying we need to go step by step. That is what I'm trying to do right now. But I also want to ensure that people can see or they can drop comments. Uh, uh, okay. Hello, guys. Sorry. Let me just go to my YouTube studio to quickly amend something. Okay. Okay. So we are still live. Okay. What? This is okay. I see the reason now. I think I selected when I was maybe I mistakenly selected that it's made for kids, so people couldn't drop comment. But right now, I believe you should be able to drop comments. You know, people were telling me that they were not able to drop comment. So, but with this one now, aha, now you can drop comment. Can you see? Just you can just close the app and reopen it again. You can just close the YouTube and reopen it again, and you should be able to drop comment now. Okay. Thank you for watching. So, where were we? So, I was saying that we want to look at, you know, history. You want to see what happened in the past and what is currently happening. All right. So, you know, like people will say that if you can't really know where you are going unless you know where you're coming from. And that is true. That is true. So it's the same thing with crypto. You can't really know where you are going, all right, if you don't know where you are coming from digitally. All right. So now let's look into this. So now, if you look at this BNB Binance coin, okay, Binance coin, you see that in the past it came here. It was just going up. Now, okay, I was saying that there's what we call uptrend and downtrend. Let me just swap this a little bit low. Now, when the market is going this way, okay, it's going like this, it's going like this, it's going like this, it's going like this, and it's going like this. This is what we call uptrend because it's going up. All right, it's going up. Okay. Now, when the market is now going like this, so it's going like this, then it will go up a bit, to go like this again, to go up a bit. Okay, sorry. Wait, let's draw it again. So it will um downtrend will go this way. Okay, higher and lower low, lower high, so it can come like this. Aha, I believe it's gonna come like this, and then go down. So this is what we call downtrend. Okay, so you can see that it's going like this down. All right, but this, let me make this one red. Okay, you can see this one is going down while this one is going up. So this one here is what we call uptrend. Okay, uptrend. There are different types of market too, but I just want to, like, this one is more like the simplest one. Okay, so I hope you can see it. So this is called uptrend. Okay, and then this one here is what we call downtrend. Downtrend. Okay, this one is called downtrend because it's going down. There is another type of market, okay, that is called ranging market. It will just go like this, it will go like this, it will go like this, like this, like this, like this, you know. So this one now, you see that it's ranging. That means it's not really going up, it's still within the limits of that up and down. All right, it's just ranging. So example, in life there are times that you might be trying to find your path. You go up, you go down, you go up within certain limits, but maybe somehow you got a mentor and someone just push your mind up, and then you all of a sudden just push. You can break your limits. It's the same thing with trading. All right. It's the same thing with trading. So life is trading in itself. All right. And even though, there are times that you want to do something, or you want to marry someone, for example, you're not 100% sure that this is the best decision in your life. But at least you get to certain point in your life that when you want to take decision, you know that, oh, this decision is going to help my life. Like 100%, I'm quite sure. Even if it doesn't work, I'll still go with it. All right. So that is how life works. Okay. So this one here is ranging. Okay. It's all called ranging market. All right. In normally, when it comes to ranging market, it's better not to, if you are not very careful, it might it might take your trade. But best thing is, when the trade is coming up, okay, you sell at the up so that it goes down. When it gets to the bottom here, you sell. I mean, you buy. When it's at the bottom, you buy, and when it's up, you sell. All right. So now, after knowing all of this, let me delete all of these things again. Now, let's now look at, from a practical perspective, use this one. We're looking at the week. Would you say this market is uptrend, downtrend, or ranging? Okay. Which one will you look at it? For me, I would say this market is uptrend. Do you know why? Because if you look at this place, all right, if you look at this place, okay, you will see that this pricing, they've not come to this was the 50 something before it went up. Okay, let's look at it now. Let me draw this line. You see this line I drew, all of this, none of this market has come down to this place again. All right. So, and if you look at this one as well, let's look at the support here. You see, these ones here have not come down to this level as well. So this market at this time is still an uptrend. Okay, so that is the monthly. Now, if let's look at, now there's something we also call support and resistance. Okay, now support is, if the market is going up, okay, sometimes the market will want to come down. If you look at this trade very well, um, let's if you look at this trade very well, you see that here, right? You see this place. You see the market came down, it went up again. All right, and if you draw a line there, you see that most of the markets are respecting this area. Okay, for example, when it came here, I mean, when the market came here, you see it almost touched it, but it went back again. It went back up. So when it is down like that, we call it support. All right. And if you now look at this up, let me put this one as yellow because you usually would buy there. And let me put one as let me put it as so usually we buy here. Now when it gets here, all right, you see that each time it gets here, it bounces back. For example, now let's see. You see, the first one came here, it bounced back, and then it came to this support level, all right, because it went back up. But if you look at this place here, it was going up, up, up. It get here, it bounced back down. It was, it got here again. People are trying to like keep selling, but you know the market change. And then this one now is what we call engulfing candle. This candle here. So you know that's why I say that you should go and learn more about it. All right. Actually, it's not even the that's not the engulfing candle because that's not the engulfing candle because it's not a down is the other candle is still you know buying. So this one will be an engulfing candle. Let's look at anyway we get to that place. Okay. Now you see when it got here it went down. When it got here again it went down. And when it got here it respected the previous level and then it went up. And you can see it also almost went up. And this all of these things are in the you know monthly time frame. Now let's go back to weekly and look at how it's doing because so that we can have more. Okay. Now remember these lines that we drew were all for monthly time frame. Now if you come back here, can you see that even in the weekly time frame, when the market got here, all right, like look at this. Wow, wow. Like my son would say, wow. All right. Let's come here. Let's come to this point. You can see here in the weekly time frame. Because see, look, before you trade any signal, always do what we call touch top down analysis. So you look at from the bigger time frame, usually weekly or 4 hour and then 1 hour. Because if you just look at small time frame and you say you want to pick trade on that, the market usually give you false direction, FALSE. Okay, so look at the longer time. That's why even in history of human beings, before you marry somebody, if you just go and look at the the children that they just gave into now, they say, "Oh, this one they are so beautiful. I love to be part of this family." But if you go back to the maybe like great grandfather, they might have said that the great grandfather had an issue. Okay, so that's why you have to also look at it here as well. All right, so look at what happened in the remember we the lines we drew here. So this one is wait, let's go back to monthly because there's something I want to check. Um, what is happening? Okay, let's take the let's zoom. Oh, so let's zoom. Yeah. So remember in the okay, so this line, I just want us to separate the lines. So this one should be red. Let's change it to red so that we know that that line is the resistance for uptrend. Okay, resistance. Like we said, this market is an uptrend. So let's go back to the weekly candle now. So you see that now in these lines that are downtrend, I mean this blue line, okay? I hope it's blue line. So you see that this market Can you see it respected it around this area? And as it was going up, it got to this resistance in the monthly candle. All right, even though we're looking at weekly, because you can also drop for weekly separately. You see, it got around this place, and then it just passed it, but it still went down. Something happened, and you can see the same thing here. It went down around here. So once it got, so we can call this one maybe like support area. Okay, I mean resistance area or resistance zone. Look at what happened. Can you see what happened there? Can you see what happened there? Okay. Can you see what happened here? So once it got to that area, it started to do what? It went down. And then when it got to this one is even perfect. It did what? It was rejected because the sellers, they just wanted to go down and keep selling. But the buyers came in and said, no, we are not going to allow this thing to continue. And then they began to buy more. And then it went up, it went down, and then you see, until it got here, and then it went down. Now, look at what is happening today. This one now, you can see here that it has gotten to this place. They wanted to pass it, but somehow it started buying again. All right, so that is a very strong resistance area. I mean, support area. Can you see? But something is happening here that we'll still have to look into. All right, but let's go further. Can you see? So here in the monthly time frame, you can see that in the weekly time frame, it broke it. All right, it broke it here, and then people began to sell, but they still sold it, and then this now becomes support again. All right, so now let's look at the weekly and see what is happening weekly. All right, so weekly time frame at this time, what will you say is happening in the weekly time frame? Will you say we are in a downtrend or we are in an uptrend? From here, I will say that we are in what? An uptrend. As you can see, it's going up. Look at it. Look at the market. The market gone here. All right. It got here. It went down. It went up like this. It went down. And it seems like it's going up again. Can you see? That is the way the market is moving at this time. Can you see? We can put it here. Can you see? Can you see the magic? Is an uptrend. Now, having known that this is an uptrend, the best thing is to follow the trend. The trend is not your enemy. Some people are like, okay, me, I want to flex my muscle. I want to be selling when the market is going up. You are just going to be doing yourself, because professional traders, like all these movers and shakers of the industry, like bankers and all of that, they will just chop all of your money. Okay, so that's why you need to follow the trend. So at this time, the best thing is to be looking for a buying opportunity, because in the weekly time frame we are actually in a buying trend. And you can see throughout this week, this is a week here. Can you see throughout this week here? All right, this is May. What's today's date? Today is May 11th. All right, throughout last week, people were buying. They were buying. They were buying. Okay, so this week now, most likely they are going to buy again. But let's see. We can't actually determine that yet. So let's delete this one. Okay, now look, let's now draw a support and resistance level in this weekly time frame. Okay, let's draw it. Okay, so this one we know that it's monthly, and this one we know it's week is monthly. We can delete this one. Okay, let's go to weekly alone for now. So in this weekly time frame, okay, can you see what is happening in the weekly time frame? Now, what we want to do is to draw a support and resistance level. Okay, so here, if you look at this one, you see this is a very strong, this is a support level. Okay, Can you see? Because all of this trade here, can you see this one here? Can you see this one here? All right. If you look at this one here, you see that, and this one here, all right, you see that this is a good support level. Can you see? It's also supporting it here. These two places, I mean, these three places, all right, they are all supporting this trade. All right. So this is a very good support level. We can increase it just to see how they work. All right. And you see, it's a good support. All right. It's a good supporting level. Let's come. Yeah. Because each time the market gets there, it goes back up. Okay. Now let me delete this ones. Delete this one. Okay. It goes back up. All right. Each time the market gets there, it goes back up. Um, yeah. So now what do we do next? Let's now draw a resistance level. Now this one we say is buy. So I will change this one to maybe a lighter color, and then let's draw another one. So here, when the market gets here, it did what? It goes back down. But the issue we have with this is that, you need to, when you are drawing your support and resistance level, you need to ensure that you find at least two. Okay. For example, now this is the one, the support level is perfect because we have up to three, 1, 2, 3. But the resistance will only have majorly one. Although you see that when this particular trade also gets here, it went back down. Okay. So we can also come back here and see what is happening with this. Okay. And see what is happening with this in the past. Okay. All right. But that's like a long time. So now once we have this for the weekly, all right, we can then go and look at the daily and candles, and also look at the 4-hour candles. Very important, because the major thing you want to look at here is, are we in a down or uptrend? And you can see here that we're actually in an uptrend. Okay. Now let's go to the daily candles. So remember we drew for the weekly candle. Okay. So now let's look at the daily candle. As you can see from what you are seeing here, the market is still in an uptrend, even though it doesn't really look like it, but it's still in an uptrend. Okay. So let's go and see what is happening here. But you see, this one is currently down. All right. It's currently down here. Okay. Because the reason I said that is, look at what is happening. Come here, go back up, come here, go back up, come here, go back. It's more like it's even ranging. Okay. You can see it's not really a very zigzag market. It's in the daily candle. But let's see if we can expand it a little bit. You can see the expansion here shows us that it's still going up. All right. So, but let's come back here. Okay. So what can we do here? You see, here in the weekly candle, we can see that this place is also respecting this area. Okay. It's a buying opportunity. Always respecting this area. Okay. So we can also draw another one. So for the daily candle, let's look at this. So daily, we have this. You see, this one and this one and this one, this one especially. Okay, they're all respecting that area. Okay, they are all respecting that area. So I'll make this one like the daily candles. Okay. Now, what can we do next? Now, if you look at this one is more like a reversal. If you look at this very well, you see that, look at what happened here. The market was going down, and when it got to that level, okay, it reversed. The same thing is happening here as well. Oh, sorry. This one is different, okay? But look at what happened here. It went down, but it respected this daily candle, went back up, okay? But we need like at least two. So let's go back. So this market is not really a good market to enter, but to be honest, you need to tread carefully in this type of market. Okay. So now if you see all this scenario is going down now, if it gets on this line again, we can find a buying opportunity. Okay. But especially the best is to wait until it gets to this line. But let's look at the 4-hour candle. Can you see it respect this one again here in the 4-hour candle? Okay, here as well. All right, so we can see we are in an uptrend in the 4-hour candle as well. We are in an uptrend, so you can be looking to buying opportunity. Let's see. So I'll say this black is here. This is another one, support level. This is another one, support level in the 4-hour candle. And this is another one here. All right. So what are we going to do? We also have another one here. Okay. This one is perfect. All right. So let's now look at 1 hour. Can you see? It's respected. So in fact, this is a good time to buy here. Can you see it respects it? So here now you can see, wow. So if this candle should close, okay, and form an engulfing candle, that means we'll just go up in the last 1 hour. Okay. Now let's go back to 45. You see? You see what is happening here? It got here, but it went down. So if you want to pick your trade now, your trade is going to, if you want to pick any trade now, for example, if you want to pick a trade here, okay, you can pick the trade from, say, let me draw a line. You can pick the trades from, say, here, okay, all right, and put your stop loss somewhere here. All right, okay, so that is good. Now next one, let's now look at 1 hour, and then we look at 30 minutes. So we are good with those ones. All right. So now I can say that if I want to pick the next trade now, okay. Now there's something else that we can look into. There are things we call indicators. All right. So we have relative index. We can also use that to confirm. For example, you can see that this thing is going down. All right. So when it gets to the bottom, that means that it is oversold. Then you cannot buy. So we can wait. Once this stochastic gets down and this trade gets to this place, we can buy, or either here or here, we can buy the market. But I would say that if I want to go into this market, all right, I'll probably look at the market somewhere around, let's see, you see, maybe 643. All right, you can pick it up from here. Okay, but this is 1 hour candle, so I'll probably wait for the best time. I'll wait for actually is 635. 635. So if this trade should come down to 635, I will just buy it. Okay, so that's why you see some people, after they've analyzed the trade, they can now do what we call they can now give you signal. They will say signal time. So this is the way they do, and they give you signal. They say signal time. So they'll say signal. They will say, okay, I can, let me see if I'm longing, so I can say something like signal. I'll pick the signal here. Okay. So if you are looking to say 1:3 or whatever, so you see, maybe I'll say my stop loss. This is risk to reward ratio is 1:1, so which is not cool very well. So I can say my stop loss, I want to put my stop loss somewhere here. Let's take profits, sorry. So I want to say take profit somewhere here, all right? So let's look at it. So I want to take, once the market gets to this point, okay? Oh. Once the market gets to this point, all right? As you can see, is going. So I will say something like, maybe once the market gets to this point, I want to sell. So the risk to reward ratio is 2.49. So can you see? Risk, you are risking 25%, all right? Okay, of your trade. All right. So at least, oh, okay, sorry. Let's see. Yeah. Can you see? So the stop loss, I'll say put stop loss at 625, pick the trade at 635, and once the trade gets to 665, take profit. Can you see can we see what we're doing there now? So this is actually fantabulous. You could try it, all right? You could try it out and see what is gonna happen. All right. So this is good. This is good. We've got a trade. We've got a trade. What is the current price of let's see. What is the current price of so I'm going to, let's say, Bybit. Bybit. I hope you can see my screen. So I can just sign in. All right. Yeah. Pause. So I'm trying to sign into my Bybit account, okay? What is happening? It's not signing me in. Okay. Okay. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's not signing in at the moment. But let me do the puzzle again. I'm a human. Sign me in. Okay, so and I'm using my phone to okay. Okay, don't worry. So we can, but the major thing I want to show you there is the fact that, you can just use, once you have this trade, we can say, let me even write it down. I might actually take this trade. Okay. So I will say stop loss. I'll say entry point. Entry. What is the entry? 623.52. I'll say stop loss. I'll say is, no, sorry, entry is 6 start. All right. Let me delete this again. So entry, I would say entry is 635.48, and stop loss, I would say 623.52, and then I would say take profit, TP, I would say 652. Oh no, take profit, the main take profit is 665.25. Okay, so that's good. All right, that's good. Okay, so there's another thing called Fibonacci. Okay, is also, let's see, Bollinger. All right, as you can see. Okay, wow. Okay, that's another indicator for you guys. So that is how to, do technical analysis for beginners. If you have any question, just drop it in the comments. And this trade now, let's see who is going to do some magic with it. And remember, trade with what you can afford to lose. Okay, so let's go to, if I want to find a trade opportunity here now, what I would do is I can look, the market is respecting this 640 something. All right, so I can come here now and look for a buying opportunity again, because I know that the market is trending up. Okay, and you see this is another of this. Oh, so there are two opportunities here right now. Okay, so I can pick a trade when it gets to 649 as well, but let's wait and see. Okay, so I'm just gonna use okay. Yeah, so let me remove my phone. I might actually pick a trade. Let's see, let's watch this and see what happens. Let's see what happens. Maybe this thing is gonna come down. Let's see how long it will take to get to 649. So if I'm gonna pick this trade, for instance, now, long position at 649, and then risk to reward ratio, let's say I wanted to stop here. Okay, so I want to pick the trade here and stop here. It's like 1 to 3. 1 to 3 is not bad. I really wish it could be 1 to 4. So this 1 to 3, guys, what we're trying to do here is you are trying to look you're trying to look at how much you're willing to lose. All right, so that means that if you put money, you can lose if you put you can if you risk $10 to make $30. It's not still very bad. Okay, but I would have preferred it to be, so this is not really, I would have preferred it to be $10 to make 40 at least, because the risk to reward ratio is well, I can, let's see what we have. You can actually adjust your risks here. You can say you want it to be here. All right, so you want to place your stop loss somewhere here. So that's like 2.43, which is not bad. Okay. Right. Okay. Let me take a picture of this. All right. I want to put it to ChatGPT to see, or Grok, to see what Grok will say. Okay. So I'll just say, analyze. What do you think? Just start and see. Let's see what it will say with my analysis. So you say this is a 15 minutes candlestick chart of Binance against Theta on May. Yeah, price action. The chart shows a recent downtrend with a significant drop from around 654.92 to 647.65. Let's see what it's saying there. Wait, 654, all right, 654, and you see 654 to what? I believe it's saying 647, 647, and it's 647. Where's 647? 47. Yeah, can you see 647 here? So support and resistance. Support zone, the red zone is acting as immediate support. A break below could lead to further downside. And resistance, the green, right, is the next resistance. Okay, the support zone is 647 to 649, 647 to 649, 647 to 649. Can you see? So our analysis seems to be working. Okay, the RSI is 41, yellow line, and trending upward from oversold levels below 30, indicating potential for short-term bounce. However, it's still below 50, so bearish momentum may persist unless it crosses 50. Okay, so they are talking about this one. Okay, so because it hasn't gotten to 50 yet, so it might still go down. All right, that's in the 15 minutes time scale, so it might still go down. All right, as when it passes 50, all right, it means that we might still look at something like this. So this is not a good buy actually. So look at this, might take short term. The price is testing support. If it holds above this and continues to rise, we might see a bounce towards 652. It breaks below, the next support is around 646, which is where we were looking at, 646. Okay, so how about my lines and analysis? Okay. Yeah. You've marked this as a support area, which aligns with the recent price action where the price, wow, you see, we have actually, where buyers might step in. You see, the green zone, you've marked this as a resistant area, which marked the power where the, you've also marked potential higher resistance. This is where you are experiencing a broader range for, wow, this is beautiful. your levels are well placed. Can you see? Can you see, guys? Your analysis seems to focus on the current consolidation phase. The price hovering near support suggests you are likely expecting a directional move soon, either a bounce if buyers defended that. Okay. Your analysis will benefit from confirmation signals like a bullish candlestick pattern in a hammer on or engulfing pattern at the support zone. Right. So if we now see an engulfing candle, right, around this support area, we can take the trade. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Before you can take this trade now, you can take like forever, before this comes out. All right. So one thing you can also do, if you want to, you can set an alarm on this, so you can put this thing. So this set alert. So when it gets to this level, it can send you notification. So only once. So it will send me a notification when it gets to that price. Boom, set a notification. So guys, do you have any question at all? Let us know if you have any question. Yeah. Any question? If you have any question, this is the time to ask your questions. All right. And if there are no questions, this is where we're going to stop today. Hopefully, we'll have another class where we are going to look into this further. Okay. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.